Hello, everybody out there, and I hope you are welcome back or welcome to AIMBOT. Am I morally bankrupt or them? It's really hot today. You'll have to forgive me. I know there's snow in the background. It's the closest I'm going to get to snow this year. I'll tell you that right now. But I hope you're well. I hope everyone's good. Stop the stupidity. So good to see you. But yes, we are aimbotting. And first up off the bank, I want to say, what the hell is happening in the US? Like, seriously, what is happening? Well, actually, first off, I'm going to sort of say, hey, in Australia, we're going to have a massive crackdown on weapons and a massive crackdown on Muslims. And I think one is justified and the other sort of is. So they've basically shut down, and I wanna share this with you. They shut down one of the more radical sort of Muslim places in Sydney. This cleric is where the shooter went to, like he got his information from.
Towards the end of times when the Muslims will be fighting the Jews.
The New South.
Yeah, so that's the kind of stuff that he sort of preaches. End times, we've heard it all before. End times, Muslims, Jews, dogs living with cats, sausages not cooking properly, all the end time stuff you could ever want. Sure. I had a really interesting conversation though, interesting and kind of dumb, when I pointed out that, yeah, you're sort of saying a lot of comments are like, yeah, the Quran's an evil book. It says all this evil things, says all these horrible things. And I'm sort of dropping, my opinion is that, hey, yeah, absolutely it does. Absolutely it does. So does the Bible. But we're not cracking down on that. We're more just cracking down on the Quran specifically. And look, nobody's saying that fundamentalist extremist Muslims aren't a thing and they're not a worry and they're not something we've got to do something against. But, nobody's sort of standing up and sort of saying, hey, there's a lot of fundamentalist extremists around there at the moment and they're doing various horrible things at the moment. And I totally get it though. I totally get it. It's yeah. Yeah, I agree, Jedi. Hi, Jedi. Good to see you. And stop the stupidity. 40? Man, it's probably going to get to 40C here, which is crazy. But stop the stupidity with 5 readerships. Thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate it. It's really welcome. It's Christmas. And, this summer solstice, yes, I'm coming to you from the far-flung future of Christmas Eve. That's right. It's currently Christmas Eve. But thank you so much. And we have Sterling 2829. I don't. What's with this voice? Suddenly I went into welcome to the world of tomorrow. I don't know what happened there. It's early, okay? I've just gotten up. I'm feeling a bit haggard today, but that's okay. I'll certainly pick it up. Scott Newson 9601. Aaron Pimentel, Sunraku N2, and Electron Element. Winners, chicken dinners, enjoy your emotes and other benefits like your membership streams and your random stuff. And I will throw in, you know what, I usually do a Hoven stream for Christmas kind of thing, and I wanted to ask you lovely people out there, especially Stop the Stupidity, because he's around all the time, whether you wanted another Hoven stream this year, or are you sick of the Hoven streams? Because I'm either way, I'm fine. I'm fine either way. Doesn't really worry me either way. I don't have a ton of time. I'm doing an extra aimbot as well on in a couple of days' time. It'll be Christmas night, I think, for you lovely people in the eastern states, but it's going to be like Boxing Day for me. It's all weird. Just check the front page. It's all happening somewhere. It's all happening. But I wanted to know whether you wanted to see a Hoven stream this year. Just dick around as Hoven, because I can do that. But only if people want to see it. I kind of worry that people are going to get sick of the Hoven thing, because it's all the same jokes. He never does anything new. Well, actually, that's not true. He he has sued, or he's trying to sue Mark Stoney, which is kind of hilarious. I find it very, very, very laughable. I think that's actually really, really, really funny. You know, really hilarious. So yeah, there's that. Oh, you're good either way? All right. Well, I'll see what other people think. But yeah, maybe I should put it as a poll on, maybe I should just put up here. I'll do it right now. I'll do a poll on that because I must admit I don't use the community thing. Purple's Christmas Marathon playlist. Yeah, that's what we're after. Thank you so much. You know what? I am going to pin that. Thank you, Aunt Jer. Thank you, thank you. I'm going to pin that message. So that is Purple's playlist. So if you are feeling alone, or you know you've got nothing to do, I mean, if you are in America, you probably have to wake up at 3 a.m. and suddenly decide that you're feeling a bit lonely. Just find the playlist. There'll be someone, an atheist or a skeptic or a you know, some non-believer just doing streams kind of thing. If it's fun, I don't know. I mean, yeah. I mean, I have fun. I just screw around on games and joke about Hovind, which is, you know, he's my favorite lolcow. Really horrible person, but my favorite lolcow, I gotta say. So yeah, I'm you know, yeah. If yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely, aren't you? Escape your family. Yeah, absolutely. Wow, absolutely. So thank you so much for bringing that over, Archer. Really appreciate it. I'm not sure if... Did Purple send it to me, or am I just really bad? No, she didn't send it to me. That's okay. All fine. No worries then. So the other thing I wanted to sort of talk about, because I mean the Epstein thing is insane, and if you do have a member of like, I'd say write to your member if you're in America and say, hey, that's actually against the law. They made a law that everything's got to be released. They basically violated that law. I mean, Jake Tapper from CNN, he was showing 100 pages where it's just blotted out, and apparently they applied the same standards to people that would be politically exposed as the victims. And for the life of me, I can't understand why. That's the whole point. Like, and the most frustrating thing is that Trump ran on this. It was one of his signature things. Like, we're going to show who the evil people who have been doing this is, and he is covering it up, which is disgusting. I don't know how anybody still supports that man after all of this. You know, like if the only reason you were sort of still supporting that absolute clown is because, oh, he's going to release the list of all of these powerful people who have committed crimes. I you know, I don't know. You know, I did not hear that. No, there's a lot of information going around out there, Left-Hand Jet. I'm having trouble keeping up with it all. Yeah. So it's people are still being protected. I can't justify why. It is a travesty. If there's one thing that this is going to do, like he could come out with all of it and nobody would believe it's the entire thing. There's no one. Like, he has lost all confidence even from his own supporters, which is you know, I don't know why they believed him in the first place, but, you know, here we are. Some people still believe it. I'm not 100% sure that's true, aren't you? I'm not 100% sure that's true. Not 100%, but I could be wrong. I don't know. But the other thing I wanted to do is show what an absolute fiasco Turning Point. Like, this is like, Turning Point is just such a reprehensible organization. It is horrible. This is Nicki Minaj on Turning Point, and you've got to hear this to believe it. It's crazy. So this is Nicki Minaj, right? The performer who does incredibly racy content, you know, like really, really provocative, sexualized content.
Imagine being the guy running on wanting to see trans kids. Haha, not even a trans adult would run on that. Normal adults wake up and think they want to see healthy, safe, happy kids. Not Gav, the Gav nots. Gav not in, Gav out. Send in the next guy, I'm bored.
Ugh, that is such a horrible thing to say. And to sit there and go, oh well, you want some happy kids, but you're not willing to provide care. When we are losing trans kids at a huge rate, like, it's just ridiculous. Like, does she think that you wave a magic wand and kids become happy? Is that, like, the experts that study it say, hey, gender affirming care is the way to stop them from being depressed and upset and miserable all their lives? Does she think that, maybe she's got enough money, she just isn't connected with reality anymore? I think there's a whole few people. But what I don't understand, what I do not understand, is why she is sort of on these right-wing Christian places saying this crap. I mean, I want to show you, just because it's funny, right? Just because it's funny. This was Ben Shapiro, like, and his famously stupid response to just one of her music videos.
Really, really vulgar. But I will admit that when I first saw the lyrics to this song, my first concern, as a sympathetic and empathetic human being, my first concern is that these women are describing a serious gynecological condition.
That's just too funny. Because, like, Ben Shapiro doesn't get anything, kind of thing. He doesn't get anything. Okay, I did not hear that. I did see that Nick was live, and I unfortunately missed it when I got up today. It was a total miss. I would have liked to see it, to be honest with you, Archer. I did not know that. I am not a robot. First phase of declassified. Evidence list. Has this got any redactions on it? Nope. I don't know exactly. Transcript. Maxwell redacted. Okay. Got DOJ redaction over it. Are they starting to put copy? Let's grab Word. Oh, is it on the Discord server of In Time? Where's my time thing? Discord server. Wait, where is it? No. No. Wait, I am on the In Time Discord server. There's no way I can't not be. Oh shit! Have I, like, been ignoring his Discord all this time? I don't think so. Give me one sec. Where are we? Oh shit! Hang on, I was sure I was, but did I get kicked off for some reason? Not 100% sure. Not 100% sure. Oh, thanks, Calbot. Okay. Not sure what I'm looking for. Oh, they're talking about a photo. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen me there too, Joe. Hello, Tori. Yeah, I'm just looking through. Look, if you want to send me something, Titan, or Aunt Jer, I'm more than happy to. Sorry, I'm just looking at Titan's post. Looks like Titan's into it, which I would expect. But I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, and they released a Oh, here we go. I see. So on Twitter, somebody wrote this. I'll just share with you what I'm looking at, which is a blank screen right now. So in the last hour, sorry, just one sec. The OJ website, you can highlight the redacted, copy and paste it in another. So this is real. Okay, used a PDF grep minus R. What's minus R? What's that? So what he's doing is he's using grep, which is a tool available to Unix systems, or either that or he's using it something similar on R. What is the R thing? So what grep does is it searches through documents for any kind of text kind of thing. I don't know what the minus R tag is. Come on. Okay, so Epstein is Donald Trump was arrested on July 6th for alleged sex trafficking minor girls in Florida and New York. Some of the beach sheriff spent $5.6 million for. Whoa. I don't know how real this is, but apparently people are posting this that you can copy and then paste it into another document. That they didn't actually visually blot it out. They didn't actually visually blot it out. What they did is just put a tag in it, so it's still going to be in the actual text. It's just got a flag after, not to show it on your word processor kind of thing. But that doesn't actually mean that the text isn't in the document. It's just a flag has been triggered to say, hey, don't show this when it comes up. And anybody looking into the sort of the actual text will be able to find it, which is wild. That is actually wild. If true, I cannot confirm that. It is like not information that I have seen. They were, yeah, so okay, so they were redacted on Adobe Acrobat, and Adobe, it doesn't actually, like, when you blot something out, it doesn't, it's like a spoiler, right? Like, so when you trigger something as a spoiler, it doesn't actually take the text away. All it does is sort of tell whatever's displaying it not to show it, kind of thing. That's all it does. So that's really interesting. Big if true. Big is if true. But I always am hesitant to just say, hey, that's what happened, kind of thing. I'm always hesitant to say that, but that's interesting. That's very interesting. I would hesitate to think that anybody working in the Department of Justice would not know that if you just in Adobe Acrobat, if you put like a blot out through something, a black thing through something, it doesn't actually remove the text. So that's why I'm a little bit hesitant to say so. Some Epstein file. Okay, so this is The Guardian. Usually I find them pretty, yeah, thank you, but no. Maybe later. So unredacted text circulating on social issues. Second Amendment, indict Virgin Islands, and previously breast. Okay. I'm not sure that copying and pasting it I would call a hack, but yeah, this is what's come out. It's just like ridiculous, you know. Like that's a ridiculous thing. That is not redactions just trying to protect the victims. That is trying to stop any kind of well, actually, that is true. That is true. But you know, I'm wondering maybe if some of the people doing the redactions knew and did it anyway, so it would come out. You know, is there anybody working in the Department of Justice who doesn't like the administration who went, no, do it like this, and knew that people would easily be able to get around it, which would be hilarious, you know. Users on TikTok. I don't know if this is true. Oh, it's been removed by moderators. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know if it's true or not. It's big if true. Absolutely big if true. Now, what I'll do is I'll get the link up. So if anyone wants to discuss it, or if you do want to give me more information or discuss it at all, I'm more than happy to. Always happy to. But I am absolutely I'm absolutely baffled at you know, how they thought they could get away with this. Like, it's just baffling. You know, and the thing is, here's the thing. I've heard this say before. Actually, I'll have to pin this link. So unfortunately, perps, sorry, I'll have to pin this link, but that's okay. That's okay. I will sort of link it later as well. So let me grab that link for perps master list. Cool. All right, beautiful. Beautiful. Where am I on this list? Oh, right at the end. Well, not right at the end, but you know, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, basically. And that's what I think it is. It's just, it has been said, and I do agree, that if like, because the blowback on covering all this stuff up is horrendous, right? So the question is, how bad was the stuff in there that this is the less bad option, right? Like, how horrendous was this going to be unredacted that they had to do this and just wear the fallout? Whatever was in there would have caused more waves than this, and that is frightening, because I can't, like, you know, it has to be absolutely disgusting in order to you know, surpass the amount of outrage and speculation and, you know, all of this stuff that's coming out, which means that, you know, Trump should be impeached and removed immediately. Immediately. And if not, like, he should have to testify in front of Congress as to his involvement. You know, like he should, like Clinton did for the Monica Lewinsky thing. Like, go up before Congress, tell them the truth, and if you're lying to Congress, you should be removed immediately. Like, seriously, he's got to give an accounting. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, the Bible's pretty bad, but, you know, we're talking about the most powerful person in the world, who is just uncaring about the rule of law, who was allegedly, and most probably, in my opinion, involved in a conspiracy in the highest circles of society, just wantonly breaking the law and trafficking human beings, underage human beings at that. It just, you know, I feel like this is an argument that we can't, this has to be a simulation. This has to be a simulation that I'm going through, and they're just seeing how I react to the madness that they're putting in front of me, because this cannot be real life, because that is ridiculous. You know, that's ridiculous. Yeah, I wild, just insanely wild. I don't even know what to say. It's crazy. But if no one's coming up, I'm probably going to start aimbotting. I'm more than happy to talk about it. But look, and as an outsider, I don't know, right? Like, I don't know as much as the Americans about what's going on, because it's not from my neck of the woods. I've been paying attention to other stuff, but what Trump is doing is really terrifying. I'm actually scared, because he's threatening Canada. Canada's now getting ready for a war with the US. Like, they've said as much, that they have to be ready in case of US aggression. I mean, what kind of fucked up simulation are we living in, where Canada has to be preparing for US aggression? Like, it's wild. But, you know, they see what he's doing with Venezuela. He keeps, you know, unlawfully intercepting their boats, killing people, just doing the most heinous stuff. Not like Venezuela's a particularly freedom-free country, or it's not got but, you know, just absolutely trying to get them into a war. It's wild. And so, you know, it occurs to me, like, whose side is Australia going to be on if that goes down? Because we've got a long history of being the US's sort of #1 ally, but you know, I don't know. I don't know. Like, if the US is going to be a totalitarian state, I'm really sorry, guys, we can't be on your side. Because, you know, if Trump decides to invade Venezuela and then invade Canada and then invade, you know, he's not going to stop. He's not going to stop. Yes, and I watched that. I watched that, Ember. Hello, Ember. And hello, One by Land, Two by Sea. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know, mate. It's, yeah. Hi, Tori. So good to see you, Tori. I'm sorry it's so depressing around here. And Sapphire, hello. Sympathies to Mrs. Shapiro. Yeah, no joke. Right. Yeah, and it's pretty much hyperbole anyway, you know. So yeah, but yeah, no, I got you. CCOT, that 60 Minutes interview on CBS, right? And it was shut down basically by the new director, or the new head of CBS. You know, as a who was appointed by Trump in there, saying, oh, there isn't a difference of opinion from both sides and we're not learning anything we didn't know already. And it's like, it's a prescient story, because people are being sent here. You know, people from Venezuela are being sent to El Salvador, which they don't come from, to be put in a terrorist prison when they're just ordinary citizens. It's really wild. It's really wild. I saw it on Cory Booker uploaded it, which was amazing. Like I really appreciate that. I don't, you know, really, is he like it? You know, I can't help but think he'd really love to come in on, you know, a European war on the side of Russia. I really do believe that. He just wants in on that war and he wants to support Russia. But yeah. It's wild, right? It's wild. Because I mean, Denmark, which is the country that holds the territory of Greenland, that they're part of NATO. Not only would you be like really sinking NATO, you'd also have all of Europe to contend with. And you know, what is he talking about? But I think that a lot of the stuff that he says and that he'll continue to say is to distract from the fact that he has not released any other co-conspirators for the incredible unlawful actions of the Epstein case. And he's supposed to. He's legally bound to, and he's just not, which is, you know, I think that Pam Bondi, I think they're going to actually sort of do some sort of impeachment for her, get her dismissed. I would be really worried about her job and her, you know, legal freedom if I was her, because she doesn't have the protections of the president, and Donald Trump ain't going to save her. I mean, come on. Like, he never saves anybody. Maybe he'll give her a pardon somewhere down the line, but yeah, he's not going to save her. Yeah, FIFA Priest Prize doesn't need to be tried. Yeah, no, I get you. I get you. Well, I mean, nobody thinks that's a real peace prize. Like, seriously, that FIFA is a soccer organization. Like, I don't know what they're doing sponsoring a peace prize, but like, if FIFA could get any more ridiculous than they already are, or corrupt than they already are, oof. Anyway, I'm gonna start aimbotting because this is pretty depressing, pretty weird, pretty scary. I just, you know, I really worry about this because I don't know where our country stands. You know, from what I've seen of Australians talking, we're like, no, we're not supporting any Trump-led regime. If they're going fasci, we're going Commonwealth, and you know, you guys can do that on your own. But you know, it's really worrying. It's really worrying. And I can't imagine how my Canadian friends feel with the world's biggest military power inferring that they should bend the knee again. It's just wild. It's just wild. Is it to distract from this whole thing? Maybe. But the Canadians are, you know, they want to have sort of 300,000 reservists on hand. And hey, I wouldn't like to face the Canadians in snow. That would be a disaster. I really wouldn't. So, you know, and will the military follow through if he orders it? I don't know. I don't know. It's a question I don't want to have the answer to, really. And why is this even a thing? Like, it's just madness. It's madness. Oof. All right, so I haven't chosen these. I haven't picked them out specifically. I haven't pre-selected them. I use secular humanism for all of my moral stuff. You can use whatever you want to. Love to know what you're using. Wow, I'm tiny. Yeah, so we're going to be aimbotting today. Yeah, I'm sorry I don't have a really good take on anything. I kind of just got up and I've been avoiding the news for a while, and I just read into stuff sort of last night, this morning, and I'm like, holy crap, there is too much going on. Like, there is too much. There's too much stupid to cover. I agree we have to stop the stupidity because there is too much of it. Too much stupid. And look, it's all important. I get it. It's all important. I totally understand. I really do. I really do. Yeah, I worry. So, AIMBOT, I will be asking what you think. I do have to do the little thingamawhatsits. And speaking of stop the stupidity, they gave me a really good idea for a new thing. So coming the new year, I will work on it and see if I can bring it out. And it will be a variation on AIMBOT. But yeah, it's a really good idea, so I really want to give it a try. And I've decided, like, New Year, I will get that rolling. So it will be a slight change, but I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it. I'll just get this thing written up. I'm unorganized as usual. It's been busy over this Christmas. Yeah, it's been really busy. And I must admit, I am going to be away after, like, Boxing Day onwards for a little bit, so I won't be able to do the usual debate review. I really do apologize, and I apologize to Ember. I really would like to do it, but apparently we're not going to be back by then, which I didn't know, but now I do. So yeah, I'm terribly sorry. Can't make it. Everyone is horrible. Everyone. Okay, that'll do. Cool. Okay, so first off, the rank. Am I the arsehole for not wanting to watch Netflix with subtitles? I don't think so. I think that movies and shows are better with subtitles. You get a sort of I think it's hard for translations to. I've heard some good dubs, right? Some good people dubbing things, but often they just fail to capture the emotion of the actor because it has to go through another person. Don't get me wrong, I've heard some good dubs. I prefer subtitles because you can hear the emotion, and after a certain point, if you get used to them, it doesn't really matter. But I get that people don't like reading, and that's okay. And the only time I really protest is when I'm, like, playing a game and I've got something on in the background or something, and I don't wanna have to look over and read subtitles because I've got the game going. So that's a time where I will not use subtitles. But I don't think so. I think you're fine. I think everyone's fine. I think that, yeah. But I think that if you're saying, hey, don't put the subtitles on, listen to it dubbed. Can't you compromise? Can't you, like, have dubs some of the time and subtitles other? Like, if it's a complicated film, maybe have dubs or something? I don't know. All right. Well, why is this? Excuse me, would you go away? Thank you. Okay. Starts with okay. So my partner, 36 female, and I, 36 male, have been married for 11 years. Our biggest fight has been because of subtitles on Netflix. I want it, she does not. Okay. My reasoning, I follow the story so much better when it is on. Her reasoning is it's distracting. I said that when I decide on something, we need to have it on, but it does create some friction still. Am I the arsehole? Well, no, I wouldn't say so, but you've got to compromise on that at some point. Yeah, that's the biggest fight. You know what? Congratulations for having a really good relationship, because if that's your biggest fight, you're doing well. So congratulations. I think that is actually the sign of a decent relationship. If your biggest fight is whether or not you have subtitles on. Look, I think this one's just everyone's fine. I think this one is just a matter of preference. I don't think you're an arsehole if you want subtitles, and I don't think you're an arsehole if you don't want subtitles. I think it's totally fine. I think it's all fine. Like, you might disagree. It might be a sticking point in your relationship. You might have to compromise, but neither of you is an arsehole. Like, come on now. I think this is just completely amoral, to be honest with you. Is the poster right for wanting subtitles? Like, you can take turn to choose what you watch, right? And then just sort of go, okay, well, if I choose whether you have subtitles, and if you choose we don't have subtitles. Come, you're grown adults. You can work this out. You can fucking work this out. Just, you're grown adults. Damn it. There should be no problems, okay? This is like, oh, well, we can never agree on what to watch. Just take turns picking. Seriously, it's just that easy. It's just that easy. Maybe it's not. I don't know. It creates friction. How much friction could it? Okay. All right. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Kale quinoa. Kale quinoa. I'm impressed you can hear what they're saying. I watch everything with subtitles since sound mixing has gotten so bad. I forgot to add a judgment. No arsehole here. Yeah. No, I'm kind of with you. Subtitles is a game changer. I can actually follow what's going on. Movie shows are now so quiet during conversation, but loud as fuck during action, so it's hard to find the balance. Subtitles do the trick. Well, is it subtitles like English subtitles? Is that what we're talking about? Or is it like foreign film subtitles? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, it's just normal subtitles. Look, you know what? I wouldn't be opposed either way, but I'm worried that if people don't have the necessary focus to be able to follow a movie, I'm a bit worried, I guess. Weird. It says a lot to me if someone can't accommodate for something like this. My wife prefers subtitles. I've gotten used to it because I'm not fighting over something so trivial. Well, good on you. Sorry, I'm 100% for subtitles. They're easy to ignore, but if I miss a line, I'd rather read it than miss it. No arsehole here. Thought it was a throwaway comment that didn't need a judgment. My bad. Okay, well, you're bad, yes. Your title doesn't match the question. Maybe they updated it, as far as I could see. It matched. What? Am I the arsehole for not wanting to watch Netflix with subtitles? Okay, maybe they updated it. I don't know. I don't know. Left-Handed Jedi says, I watch a lot of foreign films, kung fu movies in particular, subtitles all the way. Yeah, I don't think they're talking about, I think they're talking about like just all films with subtitles, which, I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but I certainly don't see the necessity. Yeah, that's the big fight. Yeah, that's the sticking point in their, that's the thing that's going to destroy their relationship is subtitles, yeah. And Ember also says it sounds like the poster has audio processing issues and the subtitles are an accessibility thing. It could be, yeah. Not a fan of how he's like, when I declare that's that, but it may be more than your preference. I said that when I decide on something, we need to have it on. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point, Sapphire. I definitely turn them on in games. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. That is true. That is true. So yeah, I think this is a wash, to be honest with you. I don't think anybody's at fault here. I think it's just preferences. And like, if Ember's right, maybe you are an asshole if somebody has an accessibility problem and you're like, well, no, you're not allowed to use accessibility tools to help you because I don't like them. Well, tough crap. Get used to it. Seriously. So maybe that's the case. Yes, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Maybe that is the case. And you know, people do that. Yeah. No, I get you. And it seems like a lot of people like it because, you know, I must admit, sometimes action scenes are way too loud and the dialogue is way too soft. Like, it's just ridiculous. But, you know, that's usually poorly mixed movies kind of thing. I got to say, just on a tangent, and tangents in the chat, I really do want to see Nolan's new film. It's the Odyssey, which is, I don't know why they're doing the Odyssey. I suppose they're just going to rely on everyone knowing what the Iliad is. I mean, it's really you know, you're starting with the second one, but hey, what do I know? What do I know? Okay, let's go to the next one and see how you people did. Morally correct? Okay, everyone is fine. Yeah. No, I get you. I get you. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Let's see. Next up, we have. That is not where I meant to go. Am I the asshole for telling my... hang on, I'll just check this isn't deleted. Nope, it's not. Am I the asshole for telling my sister not to come to my wedding if she kept bringing up her miscarriage? Dang. Dang. Okay, this is depressing. This is depressing. Okay. Wow, nice happy Christmas stream. Let's talk about miscarriages. Just for a fun-filled time. I could imagine that would absolutely bum everybody out. I kind of get that. Like, wow. Hey Kip, how you doing? So good to see you, mate. Ugh. To come to my wedding if she kept bringing up a miscarriage? Ugh. Okay, I'm worried about this one. I'm worried about this one. But let's push on. Okay, I don't know why that's loading something. What are you doing? Okay, 3 years ago, my younger sister Jen had a miscarriage at 9 weeks. Oh, that's so sad. She and her partner Scott were devastated. I was there for them as much as I could be, but it was a tough time. Yeah, I imagine so. A few months later, Scott left Jen. Jen said it was because of the miscarriage. Her and Scott had a close-knit group of friends, and I found it odd. No one has checked on her. So I rang her best friend to suggest a girls' night. She told me the reason they had broke up. Jen had slept with someone else. Her best friend says that Jen had slept with someone else. When he confronted her, she blamed the miscarriage. Okay, I don't think a miscarriage makes you sleep with someone else. Although, you know, like, I don't think that's an excuse. It may be a reason why their marriage sort of failed, but I don't think that's any kind of excuse. You know, guys can be upset and depressed by that just the same. I think, you know, we got to have a standard here. You know what I mean? We've got to have a standard. Did someone raid me? Welcome everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome Perp. I did pin your link, but I will pin it by the end. The master list. I've just done an open room, so I had to pin that. Yeah, I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do sort of. I'm trying to just do my regular stream and add extra ones for Christmas that I got a little bit of time. So it's all over. Look, it's all madness. It's all unplanned madness. Is it a raid? Did someone raid me? Do I have someone to thank for a raid? If you raided me, thank you. If you didn't, thank you as well. Maybe not as much, but maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. It's all madness. It's all madness. Hey, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Yeah, no, I don't. Look, okay, so when people cheat, like, it really bothers me when they sort of go, oh, well, it was because of this reason, or our marriage was going badly, or whatever. You know, it's not a reason. Like, it is really just, it's really just that. Now, it may be a cause, but it's not like, it doesn't explain anything really. Because you could have, you know, said, hey, our marriage is not going well, separated from that person, and then gone and done whatever you want. You know, you could have actually sort of handled it like an adult, instead of just going and having fun and, you know, just sort of blaming things going wrong in your relationship. If you don't want to be in the relationship, don't be in the relationship. That's fine. The other thing that annoys me I'm not sure. You know, chances are it's Stop the Stupidity. Chances are it's STS, but you know, I'm really guessing at this point. Look, we can rewatch the tape. We can find out. We can find out. We can absolutely find out. But yeah, like, you know, that is so sad, and I can understand why she would be depressed, upset, you know, wanting a change in her life. Gotcha, but that's just hurting people. 9 months ago, I got engaged and asked Jen to be my maid of honor. I presume that is. That's Jen. That's the girl who had a miscarriage. At our engagement party, Jen became inconsolable at seeing our friend's baby. Oh, crap. Oh, that's so sad. But at the same time, yeah. Everyone's focus, including mine, was on Jen all night. I wasn't upset with her. I figured she was imagining what all these big family events would be like with a baby, so I gave her grace. Since then, anything to do with the wedding, she brings up her miscarriage, but only at events related to my wedding. I asked her to help me pick flowers, and she lost it when she saw baby blue roses. She's convinced she was having a boy, and we had to leave. When we went out wedding dress shopping and she picked out a maternity... Look, okay, just straight up, this girl needs counseling and therapy. Like, she really does. So, in my opinion, and this is, you know, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not any kind of expert, but I think that when you need therapy or counseling is when you're, you know, it's okay if you have things that you don't want to do or things that you avoid. You know, I totally get coping mechanisms. I totally get that, you know, we don't all want to, you know, go and do stuff. But when you want to and you can't do something in your life, that's probably when you have to get some therapy to be able to do something in your life that is disordered. You can't do it because of something that you've gone through, whether that be depression, whether it be trauma, whether it be anything. We all have things that we would like to do, but, you know, because of something in our past, we can't do, and that's what therapy's for. And, you know, this lady, if she can't, you know, go out without grieving, and I totally understand why. I have so much empathy for her, but, you know, she needs help and not just, hey, invite her to all the things. When we went wedding dress shopping, she picked out a maternity bridesmaid dress and asked to try it on so that she can see how she would have looked. When she did that, I thought, she's actually lost it. Well, no, she's just grieving, right? So she's in the grieving stages. Probably the denial part or the anger part, you know, a combination of the two. And had to walk away when she started stuffing a cushion up her dress. This is so depressing. I have tried to talk to her about going to counseling again, but she's insisting this is a normal part of the grieving process. Look, it may be, and she needs to go for therapy, yes. How long after is this? 3 years ago. Yeah, she really needs some help. Oh dear. She planned my hen party, which I was grateful for, but I found out after she'd sent everyone a list of rules, which include no talking about pregnancy or kids, no wearing baby blue, etc., etc. I confronted her, but I was gentle about it. I suggested counseling again. I said I was there for her, but that if she wanted to impose any other rules on anything to do with my wedding, she had to come to me first. That's completely reasonable. That's a reasonable response. It all came to a head when one of my friends and bridesmaids announced that she was pregnant. She'll be 7 months at the wedding. After the announcement, Jen called her and said it'd be best if she didn't come because she couldn't maintain her peace if she was forced to be reminded of the loss of her child. I lost it when I found out and said she was using her miscarriage to get attention. Yeah, maybe not. No, maybe don't say that. And if she made one more demand or made a single comment about it, anything wedding related, she was uninvited. In either case, she is no longer my maid of honor. Okay, so this is rough. Since then, Jen has told everyone I've dumped her from the wedding for being too upset about the loss of her baby. In retaliation, and have told everyone and anyone who will listen the real reason her and Scott broke up. In retaliation, I have told everybody and everyone and anyone who will listen the real reason her Scott broke up with the, her cheating. Wow, yeah, that's probably not the way to go. Like, seriously, I think kind of everyone sucks here, to be honest with you. That isn't something you should do. Like, seriously. In retaliation, how does that make things better? Half our family and friends and family think I'm an asshole. Half think she is. I'm still horrifically angry and stuck in a place where I'm not sure if I'm rightly angry or if I should be more understanding. Am I the asshole? Well, yeah, kind of. Yeah. Not as, edit. Here we go. Yeah. A couple of people have said I went too far telling people the reason why she broke up with Scott. And I can take that, but just for context, I had multiple people reach out for me who she had spoken to first. Each essentially said I was being a bitch for dumping her from the wedding and for having a miscarriage. And she said something along the lines of, she's lost her partner and her sister because she's lost her baby. I felt I need to correct them that she actually lost neither of us because of the miscarriage. She lost us because of her actions since and her blaming the miscarriage as part of the pattern of behavior. I didn't go into details, just said actually she lost Scott because she cheated on him and she lost me because she uninvited one of my bridesmaids without my knowledge because she is pregnant. Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair. I guess you're just correcting the record. Whew, what a situation. I was upset and hurt that they were saying this to me, and also that she wanted everyone to think I was the sort of person who would dump my sister because she lost a baby. So I lashed out by telling them what actually happened with Scott. I suppose the way to defend myself. But again, if the consensus, if this was too far, I'll accept that and take it on the chin. Edit 2. Wow, this is the longest aimbot I have ever seen. The information in here. Look, I will give you a point. Look, there's no points. But if we were doing points, I would give you a point for thoroughness and then take it away for lack of brevity. Okay, like seriously. Edit 2. Thanks for the feedback. Someone mentioned the phrase weaponized grief and seeing that written down, that's what it feels like. Yeah, I don't think that's a thing. She clearly didn't deal with her grief at the time she had the miscarriage, or I'm surprised it presents it's now. Perhaps her feeling a guilt over what she did. Okay. Part of me wonders if she's seeing me getting married and thinking it should have been her and Scott. Perhaps her feelings of guilt over what she did and not dealing with her grief have caused her to have some form of mental break. I'm not sure. I'm glad to see the consensus seems to be that I was right in the boundaries I did. This gives me some measure of peace. We get close to the wedding. Yeah, I well done. It's definitely pulling everything out. Now, this is a tough one because I really don't think and the way she's saying it, she didn't really bring up that her sister cheated on her husband. She just corrected it when people said, hey, this miscarriage was the reason why her and her husband broke up, and it wasn't. Not directly anyway, at least. So I don't know. I still think maybe it's not your place to say, but I understand why you would want to correct the record if someone is saying something that's untrue. I don't think weaponized grief is a thing. It definitely isn't a thing. You just have grief and some people react really badly to it. Some people want attention because they've lost something that they value. Look, grief is a trauma reaction. It sometimes can do weird things. That's not to say that grief should violate your boundaries like that. I'm glad that she did sort of say, hey, this is a boundary. I'm just not sure she should have said, I get it. Jen's being an asshole. Yeah, I get that. She's in grief. She's being an asshole. I totally get it. Okay, so said she was using her miscarriage to get attention. Okay, so that is what we kind of call mind reading. You don't know that for sure. Like she said in the edit, she might have just been having a mental break, right? She might have just been really struggling and not knowing how to express it. So sort of making those statements, it's not really maintaining your barriers and your boundaries. It's saying what other people are actually thinking. And I'm not sure it's that productive Because if you're wrong and she has just had a mental break and broke down, she's going to get really angry that you're telling her what she thinks. So I don't think that's particularly productive. So maybe a little bit, yeah. I'm going to kind of go with everyone kind of sucks here. Contention, definitely. I don't think she's reacted that badly, but you shouldn't be telling people, oh, you're just pretending to be grieving to get attention. No, that's not cool. You don't know that. And yeah, it's been 3 years, but some people do grieve for 3 years. I'm sorry. It just it happens. It really does happen. I wouldn't just say, but she's sort of being a bigger asshole because she won't go and get help, even though she clearly needs it. Clearly needs it. So I don't know. No, I'm gonna say that. I'm 100% gonna say that. I just don't really think I would enforce that. Hey, somebody has to be over something by 3 years or whatever. I really don't. I really don't. Let's see. I'll do a poll. You'd think I'd be used to this by now, right? What was the poster wrong for uninviting her little sister from wedding? I don't think she was wrong for uninviting her from the wedding, though. So maybe I would come down on she's morally correct for doing that, because that's totally fine. If she is unable to go to the wedding without disruption, I mean, you have a right to have a wedding without disruption, right? Whatever the reason might be. So if she's going to be disruptive, you've absolutely got a right to say, hey, maybe you shouldn't be here. Maybe you can make a deal with her. Like, yeah, it's her little sister, Beck. Just looking at the chat now. Yeah, it's little sister. So it is a big deal. But I personally would make a deal with her. Like, if you go to counseling and you can keep it together, I will reinvite you. But you need to be able to interact with people that are pregnant, that are wearing baby blue, that have all of that things on. I do think that I would be saying, hey, you can come back to the wedding, but you have to put some work in. It can't just be everybody else has to be, sort of cater to you. And, how to say that as gently as possible, I don't know. I hope I'm never in that situation because, ouch, that is rough. That entire thing was rough. I'm sorry. It just was. It was rough. Maybe not as rough as the Epstein release, but, pretty rough. Pretty rough. Danabe says, I'm going to get downvoted to hell with this, but honestly, fuck it. Yeah, you go. All right, you just spill yourself. Go for it. She had a miscarriage at 9 weeks pregnant 3 years ago. And yes, a miscarriage is awful. I'm not saying it's not something to grieve because it is. You grieve the idea of what could have been, what you hoped for, and the embryo that wasn't viable. Well, I don't think she's grieving just that. So when people talk about grief, right, like grief is more than just losing a family member or a pet or something like that. It can also be grieving, like you can grieve a job, right? You get much the same sort of process when you have a job. Maybe you're made redundant, you didn't want to leave, and your career is suddenly over in that thing. People can go through the same process. It's not just that. So she probably just isn't grieving her miscarriage. It's also her husband, and is the entire life that she sort of used to have. So it's important not to just say, well, it's just this one thing. She should be over it in 3 years, because if her life has sort of crumbled apart, people can grieve their entire life for that long, because she's lost a partner, she's lost any future of having a child with them, all of that kind of stuff. what you hoped for in the embryo that wasn't violent, but it's vastly different than losing a child you're able to hold or had to give birth to and having a stillborn. I agree, but it's not just the it's also her entire life that she's grieving. And I will not hear anything about it. This is simply true. And try and compare these two losses as the same as rage baiting. Yeah, well, we're not trying to. It's just that there's other things she's grieving in her life. Like, you can grieve, like, having to move out of a house. You can grieve, like I said, losing a job, anything significant. You can grieve friends. Like, they're not, dead. They're just, you go, well, I've moved apart from them. We disagree on things. And I feel grief at them losing them. At 9 weeks, this is still a loss, yes, but it's incredibly common. Yeah, I wish it was. Why is that, God? What if God is this remarkable, perfect humanity? Why is it incredibly common, right? 1 out of 10 pregnancies end in a miscarriage for 12 weeks. Yeah, so much for the perfect system. It's usually because your body sensed there was something wrong with the tissue and rejected it because there would never be a viable baby. Okay, that makes sense. She is now, after 3 years, still holding this as a pity hostage over everyone's head. Okay, I dislike it when people talk like this. Even those who are currently pregnant, by the way, telling them not to talk about babies at the wedding while she's pregnant. Yeah, that's a bit much. She's holding it over those who might be struggling with infertility issues, and her sister is getting married. Who said she was the only person that ever miscarried in that friends group? Well, like I said, I don't think it's just about the miscarriage. I think it's about everything in her life. I think her life has crumbled apart, and she is not dealing with it. And that's where you need therapy. That's where you need counseling. That's where you need somebody to help you, because she isn't doing it herself. After 3 years, if she could do it herself and move on herself, she would have done it. And there's things that if you're still not able to do what you want after 3 years, yeah, you probably need counseling as well. There's no shame in it. It's just our traumas, our things that happen in life are hard, and it helps. She's also using a miscarriage of 3 years ago as a reason for cheating on her spouse, which is gross. Yeah, it almost sounds like she loves the negative question. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's the reason. It's not the reason. Almost sounds like she loves the negative attention of milking this for all it's worth, which is bonkers. This is my unpopular opinion of the year. You don't get to tell people how to grieve or for how long people commence. Well, no, I wouldn't say that. It's just, the fact that you're just saying, hey, it's just a miscarriage and not like her entire life. But yeah, I kind of agree. It especially as she won't go and get help for it. Not the arsehole. Is this grief, though? Look, I'm not going to tell people. It looks like she's weaponizing the miscarriage. Yeah, I don't know about that. Has she always made everything about herself? How was the relationship before the miscarriage? Okay, so there's some good questions at least, right? Why'd you do that? How was the miscarriage? I tried to load more replies. Why did you not see more replies? More replies, though? Why are you doing that? Is Reddit broken? Is it a broken Reddit? Okay, Reddit ain't working. Probably Epstein files dropped. Broke Reddit. Yeah, because I'd like to see if this is a pattern of behavior. Yeah, that's a bit of a different story. I get you. I get you. I'm not immune to noticing patterns in people's behavior. I'm not immune to it. I do. Oh, for fuck's sake! I do concede that. I think I've read that one. Have I read this one? Maybe. I don't know. How'd the poll go? Poster is morally correct. Everyone is horrible. Okay. Yeah, I kind of agree. If it is just sort of, I think she could have handled it better. Oh, I didn't read out the comments. Hang on a second. I don't know what I'm doing still. Wow. Episode 62? I still don't know what I'm doing. That's wild. That's wild. Oh, Kip's the warm-up act for me. Oh, okay. Do me proud. Okay, cool. I get a warm-up of Kip. That's pretty special. That's pretty specky. Kip's pretty awesome. I'm right on board. Depends. Was he the father? Was he the father? That's a good point. Probably. Yeah, I believe so. I believe it's suggesting that it is. I think. Perp says it shouldn't be a reason for the marriage to fail. They should be mutually support each other through the devastating event. Yeah, you would hope so. You would hope so. Yeah. Perps, I rated you, but there was no one else in my test stream. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Perps. No, look, it's the thought that counts. It is the thought that counts. Look, it's an imaginary raid, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. What the Beck says, I can't imagine anyone wanting sex after a miscarriage. Well, I mean, ordinarily you would grieve and not want sex for a while, and then you would, people get horny, yo. What can I say? It happens. But yeah. One by Lance says cheating on Peach rarely improves the relationship. This is true. Yes, this is true. If you're in a monogamous relationship, absolutely. Yeah. Sapphire says you can't fix other people. Absolutely true. Yeah. I do agree with that. And the problem is when you try to rescue people, like just completely sacrifice yourself for their well-being. And that's a problem. You can support them. You can't rescue them. And it doesn't sound like she wants to be fixed. She doesn't want to be fixed at all. Some people are sort of stuck in that space where they're happy to be down. But, and that's fine. I'm not saying they can't do that, but you also don't have an obligation to indulge them as well. One by Land says this is clinical. Absolutely. Yeah, I would say so. Clinical depression. 3 years, get over it. I'm an arsehole, I know. Yeah, no, that's why we're not doing your posts, Beck. That's why we're not doing your posts. We know what it would be. I don't disagree. 3 years is a long time, but it's probably more than just one thing. One by Land, two by Sea says, if having her at the event would make everyone miserable, including her, then she should not go, regardless of fault. Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. And you've got to have some boundaries about things like that. If someone's going to go and make racist jokes or something and make everybody uncomfortable, you just have to say, yeah, I'm sorry. If you're going to do that, you're not invited. You've got to be able to socialize with people in a healthy way that they're not going to be uncomfortable. It was her sister? Yep. Left-handed Jedi says, one of my irks is when someone tells me what I'm thinking or feeling. Yes, that's one of mine as well, Jedi. I'm right there with you, especially when pre-subs do it and sort of say, hey, you do believe in the Jesus. You just are suppressing it in your unrighteousness, blah, 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 blah. Oh, terrible, terrible. And Beck agrees. Purple says, possibly after miscarriage, if her husband wasn't providing any emotional support and some male friend was, I could see how a man could take advantage of that. Yeah, same. But, at the end of the day, it really was up to her. I could see that, sort of turning her head, absolutely. I could absolutely see it. But, I think that before cheating, you should still say to the guy, hey, it's over. I'm not getting the emotional support I need from you. Even I've met someone else. It's hard, but, that's the right thing to do, not just cheat on somebody. Jedi says, some folks anchor their value on a given thing, a job, being a parent, their religion. I think that some people do grieve their religion when they leave it. I've heard these construction stories how people went through this sort of stages of grief for their religion, and I can totally understand it. I think that it is a problem, and the churches and the religions use it as weaponized, sort of weaponized compulsion against people, because they basically go, hey, ostracize you if you don't do X, Y, and Z, and then you'll be thrown out of the church, and people are really afraid of it. You know, it's like holding a gun to their head. It's horrible. Archer says, the maid of honor is an arsehole for not getting therapy after being told multiple times that she needed it. She's causing the people around her to suffer because she won't take care of herself. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Yeah. I think I wouldn't go so far as to say she's an arsehole. She's definitely not doing what she ought to do. Absolutely. Left-handed Jar says, also, you can't change people. Some folks see characteristics they don't like and think they can improve them. Can people change? Not significantly, I think, but I think you can address behaviors and things that are destructive. I think people can change a little bit, but I think they're sort of, look, so when you're talking about who they are, you're talking about core beliefs, and they're incredibly difficult to change. It is possible, though, but you can't change them. They have to decide to change as well, left-hand. I totally get what you're saying as well. Like, they're not going to change just because you ask them to. No way. No way. Last one that I will do. Sorry, it's a bit short. It's really hot in my room. It is fucking hot over here. Yeah, it's 31 and it's a muggy room, but that's okay. I'm gonna go and sit out in the shade, maybe. An outrageous ad. Throw away account because I don't want my roommate to see this. Okay. Since I was a teenager, I've always stayed naked. Me too. Me too. I always have. So I'm definitely not the arsehole on this one, because if so, I'm a complete arsehole. I always get too hot at night, and it's generally just way more comfortable for me to sleep that way. Whenever I leave my room, I'm always dressed, or at the very least have shorts or something on if I'm going to or from the shower. Yeah, me too. Me too. My roommate knows this, and up to the point he has no problem with it. And we always knock on each other's doors anyway to be polite. Well, you probably should be if someone has their door closed and they're like a roommate. Absolutely, you should be. What if they're jacking it in there? Like, no, nobody wants to see that. Come on now. The issue started when he brought over his girlfriend to stay a couple of nights. We all get along pretty well, and we've hung out a few times before, but this was the first time she had come over and spent the night. We had all gone out drinking and got home pretty late, so once we all walked in, we just went straight to sleep. I, of course, went to bed with my usual routine of getting naked and hopping into bed. Well, sometime during the night, my roommate's girlfriend needed to use the bathroom, but she didn't know which room it was. My room and the bathroom are right next to each other, and she opened my door by mistake. Okay. Yeah, all right. She opened your door by mistake. I have a vague memory of her opening my door, but I was half asleep, and when she closed it, I went right back to sleep. The next morning I woke up and my roommate and his girlfriend were upset with me because she walked in and saw everything, and she was mad I would sleep naked when a guest was over in the first... Oh, come on, this is your place and she opened the door. Oh, come on. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They both said I need to start wearing clothes to sleep since my roommate's girlfriend is probably going to be sleeping over more often and it makes her uncomfortable. Lady, you're naked beneath your clothes. Like, what the hell is this? It's your private space. Like, nobody forced her to open the frigging door. That's your mistake. What the hell? My argument that was, while I'm in my private space away from them, and while I understand it was a mistake, it's still her fault that she walked in on me sleeping. Yeah, it's more creepy to me that she walked in on your room than it is that you're sleeping naked. Like, you weren't the one going into his room. Her room, sorry. Like, you know... Like, if the roles had been reversed and he went into her room naked, yes, absolute problem. There's a massive problem there. Absolutely. Then you would have a point. Totally. And probably sexual assault. But if you know, if you accidentally walk into his room and you don't like the way he sleeps, then don't go in his frigging room. It's been a few days and my roommate still won't let it go. I still sleep naked, good on ya. And now once on purpose he's walked in on me sleeping just to see if I was naked or not. Cool, yeah. I don't really care about him seeing me naked because we've seen each other naked before, but this is getting really out of hand. Yeah, that's a bit creepy. Look, I don't... I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I should have to wear clothes to sleep just because it makes his girlfriend uncomfortable, even though I'm in my own private room. Yeah. Too long, didn't read. My roommate's girlfriend walked in on me sleeping naked in my own room, and now they both want me to start wearing clothes to sleep. Edit. To everyone saying I should lock my door and add a lock, I really would like to. Unfortunately, the place we're staying doesn't want us to change the door handles or anything, so I can't do that. However, I'm currently looking into ways to stop my door from opening that isn't like a barricade or drills into the wall or door. You shouldn't have to. You should not have to. You absolutely should not have to. Like, what's next? They're saying, oh, because my girlfriend walked in on you masturbating in your room, you're not allowed to masturbate anymore? Like, seriously, it's her fucking fault. If you don't want to see what he's doing in the room, don't go in the room. Like, seriously, what are you talking about? What the hell? This is stupid. This is stupid. Not for the guy that's sleeping naked, but like, oh, I accidentally opened your door and saw you naked. That's your fault. No. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, I am absolutely rejecting this one as even close. This is absolutely not the arsehole. What I don't get is why the roommate is backing her up on this. Like, is this his first girlfriend or something? Is he like, you know, as we say in Australia, is he completely cunt struck or something? What the hell is going on? My guy, you're telling your roommate to wear clothes to bed because your girlfriend can't find the bathroom. Was the poster right for continuing to sleep buck naked? Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, I would recommend he's even more naked, but, you know, I'm not sure if that's possible. Maybe he should shave down his entire body just to get more naked. Like, seriously, it's his choice what he does in his room. You know, like, what if he's a furry and she goes, you know, opens the wrong door, and you know, he's yiffing. I think that's the right word. He's yiffing in his room. Does that mean he's got to give up his furry lifestyle? No, don't go in his room. Don't go in his room. It's a simple thing. What if he's doing something truly embarrassing? Like, I don't know, being a content creator or something. You know, you can't just expect them to stop because you know you walked into the wrong room. That's ridiculous. No, I feel like vetoing this one. We'll allow you to vote, but don't disappoint me because this is ridiculous. It's not even close. It's not even close. Let's see what the Redditors have to say. I think I know what they're going to say. No nudity in your own room? Got it. So they're not having sex when she comes over, right? Maybe you should start walking in on them to check. Wow, that's a good point. That's a good point. Do they have sex fully clothed? Also, how exactly did she manage to see that you were completely naked? How hard was she looking into the darkened room that clearly wasn't the room she wanted? Did she ever apologize for the invasion of her privacy? That's a really good question, right? She should apologize for going into your room without knocking first. Absolutely. Absolutely. I would absolutely stand by that. Yes. Not the arsehole. Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a good question. Look, I get sometimes, like, if it's not your house, you're like, oh, the darkened room. Is this the bathroom? I've never seen it before or whatever. But yeah, like, those are good questions. Like, if they're having sex in their room, aren't they naked? Isn't it just going one way? Isn't it just completely hypocritical? Is this a Christian stream? Calculated Mischief says, I'm really sorry, but your roommate purposefully opened the door on you while you sleep to see if you are naked is low-key sexual harassment. His girlfriend has no business dictating how you sleep in your own goddamn room. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, I don't think so. I don't think that's sexual harassment, but it's definitely, you know, it's definitely morally bad. Like, it's definitely a terrible thing to do. Like, stop doing that. Stop doing that. Also, I'm really sorry, but they can't just announce, well, she's technically going to live here with us, so you better dress up in 3 layers for the night. That needs a discussion. That needs sitting down and asking, are you okay with this? You're not being indecent, so not the arsehole all the way. I agree. And how often are they naked behind your roommate's door? Would they appreciate a late night check? Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Dang. Dang. Walk in them while they're having sex and then tell them they can't be naked in his bedroom. See how they like being told what they can and can't do in his room. It's a fair point. I love how the implication here is that she is going to keep seeing you naked. Like, girl, how many times are you going to accidentally open this person's bedroom door before you learn where the bathroom is? Does your roommate know that you shower naked too? That's true. I didn't think about that. It could have easily been she goes to the bathroom and you were just getting into the shower, right? Like, oh, how dare you get into the shower naked with no clothes on? Edit, because I'm a forgetful bitch, not the arsehole. Not even close. Holy shit. I kind of agree, yeah. I'd be more concerned about the roommate saying girlfriend will be staying over more frequency. Will she be paying rent, utilities? That is a point. Not the arsehole. That should be a one-time mistake. She now knows. Yeah. And I think that's the consensus between everybody. Oh, Merry Christmas, Robin. Thank you so much. Happy summer solstice. Okay. Well, Aunt Jer is definitely definitive on this one. Not the arsehole. And Lieutenant Jedi concurs. Tough shit, lady. Yeah. That's what I come down on. Tough shit. Like, you should apologize for opening my door while you hadn't knocked and hadn't asked permission to enter. You should be apologizing. I would be saying, absolutely, I'd be saying that. What the Beck says, first of all, lock your door. Second of all, that's your safe space. She walked in. No. I don't think the door has locks, and I think they're renting, so they can't put locks on the door. You know, if it was me, I'd maybe put a sign up saying, warning, knock before entry. Occupant may be naked. You can't argue with a warning, right? You can't argue with a warning. Like put it up with in you know, a fluoro, like a glow in the dark thing, you know. So even if it is dark, she can't argue that she wasn't warned, right? Have a sign saying occupant may be naked. Caution, beware of the pecker. I don't know, like, be caution, naked animal inside. Holly says, well, now she knows where the bathroom is. She doesn't need to go in his room again. Yeah, but they're talking like it's going to keep happening, which is kind of weird. And they're treating him like he's some sort of pervert kind of thing. Or like he was just, like, he'd just strip naked and lay on his bed just waiting for some poor innocent girl to get the wrong door. You know, I think that they're really, like, they're tripping. They really are. It's terrible. What the Beck says, time to find a new place to live. Well, if she's moving in, basically, maybe, yeah. And if you've got a problem with what you do, but it sounds like the problem's all one-sided. So if you don't care, you don't care. You know, if you just want to go, hey, it's your problem. You do whatever, it's your problem. Don't come into my room without knocking. If that boundary's been violated, yeah, absolutely. If it's not, then, hey, just go about your business. Treat it like no big deal. Just because somebody is getting all uppity about something doesn't mean you have to. You can just go, okay, I see you have a problem with it, but I do not agree. I don't agree. And here's my position. Stop the Stupidity says, I'd say I pay for my room and I'll be in my room how I want to be. Absolutely. Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. Purple rhymes with orange. No one should be entering your room when you're asleep unless the house is on fire. Yes, and it has to be like a life-threatening fire at that. Well, you know, I don't know about that. I think that under certain conditions, I'd be okay with it. You know, if somebody hears a noise in the house or something, you know. But I get what you mean. You know, you don't just go into somebody's room without knocking, unless it is you know, a sort of exceptional circumstance. I totally get where you're coming from. Construct. Yeah. You've never heard that term? Well, the male version, you know, is or the female version rather is dick struck. You know, when they will do anything the guy asks and they're just, you know, completely wrapped around his finger. Purple says, what if he was watching porn when she walked in? Well, at that point, he'd be, you know, he would not be allowed to watch porn in his room, which is just ridiculous. Like, seriously. Stop the Stupidity says, you must go to the bathroom with your clothes on. Absolutely. Preferably a scuba suit, you know, like preferably an entire body, you know. I know it's kind of weird though. Like, you know, it's like if you grow up with the beach and stuff, it's kind of, nakedness isn't that big a deal. Like mostly people are in bikinis or board shorts anyway. Like you don't, you know, I don't know why people get so precious about it. I get like why, you know, nudity shouldn't just be whatever, but you know, it's not that big a deal. Like seriously, it's not that big a deal. Especially when it's accidental. Especially so. STS, he says he's always dressed. Yeah. Yeah, if you're leaving, you must put on pants or a robe. I think that's totally fair. I think that is completely fair. Absolutely fair. Oh, I meant, yeah. No, I get you. I got you, STS. I got you. I understood. Like, there's just some situations in your house you're going to be naked, and one of those is the shared bathroom. I'm sorry, if you can't handle that, living with people may not be for you. It may not be for you. Yeah, I don't know. If it was making, like, if I had a girlfriend and it was making them uncomfortable, then yeah, I would have a problem. But if my girlfriend walked into someone's room and they were sleeping naked, I would be like, well, don't walk in their room, and you know, you please apologize. You know, they didn't give you permission to come into their room and watch them naked. Like, please apologize. But yeah, you know, expecting that, no. I mean, I don't know if she's a Christian or something. I don't know if she's just, you know, had a sheltered upbringing. I don't know, but you know, maybe she's never seen a grown man naked before. Didn't I say how old they were, did it? I mean, it said they were drinking, so I assume they're, you know, depending on where they're from 18 to 21. So I assume they're all adults, you know. I mean, I've known girls that would like say that, and then they would, you know, say something like, hey, I caught you naked, and laugh about it, you know, like actually be, you know, kind of, you know, find it funny. The accident, you know, it's just an accident. It's fine. It's fine. If there was someone coming over regularly, it would have to be discussed. But yeah, absolutely. And that's the point. You discuss it with people. But in your own room, look, it's none of my business what you're doing in your room, except, you know, if it's breaking the law, maybe. But you know, if you've just got private stuff in your own room, hey, that's none of my business. That's totally thing. It's amazing though how much and Sterling, the last minute, says, if I did that accidentally once to somebody, I'd be so embarrassed to make sure it never happened again and be very apologetic. Yeah, same here. You know, I'd say, I'm so sorry, I accidentally opened your door. Won't happen again. You know, I don't get the big deal. It's just people, we're all naked underneath. Stop if somebody is being sexually harassing, totally understand. If it's just you've walked in on them, just it's no big deal. It really is not. It's no big deal. Just move on. You don't have to be embarrassed about it. But I think that will sum it up for this AIMBOT. Now, what's going on over the next few days? I will be doing Purple's marathon stream, and I will replace the link for that so we all know where we're going. If you're over Christmas, you are lonely, you want to talk to somebody, you want to yell at some random person, I am more than happy to see you, more than happy to talk with you. I'll just be aimbotting, chatting, just doing a fun little stream. I have not decided on a Hoven stream, but I am very easily convinced. So if you do want to convince me, please do. Leave a comment or just whatever you want. Just saying that you would like AIMBOT up and running. The Hoven stream up and running. And I can do it somewhere between like New Year's and those Xmas playlist and Christmas and New Year's. So yeah, I can't spelling. What's that? So that is the playlist. I'm going to have to miss, and this week it is on Embers. The debate review, unfortunately, I won't be back in time for it. I thought I would be, but I won't be. So unfortunately, I'm not going to make that. I really do apologize. Would have loved to do it, but holidays are frantic. I still will be doing the Fundamentalist Fail on my Friday or Thursday night Eastern time. So do come along for that if you wish. That's going to be a lot of fun, and probably my last one for the year, I think. Give me a second. Yeah, the last one of the year. Maybe I should do the best fails of the year on the last one. Like, yeah, maybe the FF awards, the Fundy Fail awards, like the best ones, and name a winner of the award. I'll think about it. That's in a couple of days, so I don't have long to think about it, but hey, I'll do my best. The Fail Fest, I like that too. Fundy Fail Fest, the triple F. Press F to respect. to what is it? It's push F to show respects. No, yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, everybody. If you could like, subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Don't forget to ring the bell so you know when things are upcoming, because this year has been madness, and I'll probably just, if I'm going to do a Hoven thing, I'm just going to do it on the fly, and you don't want to miss it. So hit that bell, and it will let you know, hopefully, when it is on. But do take care, everybody. Be kind to yourself. If you're doing something in private, don't let people tell you what to do. If you enjoy it, if you like sitting and watching cheesy movies that no one likes, by damn, if you're in your room bothering no one, you fucking well do it. That's fine. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, because in your private space, you get to do what you do as long as you are not harming anybody else. And be kind to each other. If someone does have something they like doing, don't tell them to stop in their private space. If they're not harming anyone, they're not harming anyone. Don't be judgmental on them. If they are harming people, then yeah, definitely. But if they're just sleeping naked, leave them the fuck alone, quite frankly. But yeah, have a happy holidays. Hope to see you soon. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.
知らない自分